Hi, this is Stan. Welcome back to the Crow's Nest Railroad. Well, we're out here at Adobe Western Railroad, and we got a couple of projects we have to do on Bob's trains, so don't go away. Well, let's get busy. We got a couple of projects to do. First of all, we got to fix a little valve that's stuck on Bob's Pacific steam engine, and then we're going to get a chance to meet Dan from Precision Railroad Products. He's going to install some new batteries, some lithium batteries in Bob's little switching locomotive, the bulletproof switcher. So let's get busy. All right, well, here's a little mini lesson for us. Bob had a guest engineer on his beautiful Pacific the last time it was steamed up, and the lesson here is that temperature matters when you're dealing with equipment like this. So one of our jobs today, this little valve down in here, let me see if I can get a nice view of it. Okay, this thing was blazing hot when it was put away after the last steaming, and the operator over tightened this valve when it was hot, and now the valve is cold and it will not come apart. So, and we don't want to put enough pressure. Look at this beautiful equipment. See how these valves are? You can't run them super tight when you're shutting the locomotive down. You got to just crack them a little bit, and they're expensive and rare to either make or to find. So we don't want to break that off. So we got to do a little bit of surgery today. So the first thing we need to do, because we can't access it very well underneath, we got to pull the top. All right. Here's a little closer look. I don't know how much you could see before, but that's the valve in question. And don't want to destroy all this. And you can see, here's the sight glass. So you need a valve at the bottom to blow that out, to clear it out, so that you know there's no air or other pressure that's giving a false reading of the water in there. But this is the valve that's stuck. All right, we ended up undoing two unions and pulling that whole monkey business off. And that right there is the culprit. This is way too tight. Well, let's take it into the shop and stick it in the vise.
That's all it took.
All right, a fun little project. You never know what's waiting for you.
So much fun. That's it. Just like that.
So loosen those valves when you're done running. You know, don't put them blister tight.
Or else.
Yeah, it's going to seize up when the metal cools down. Good job, Bob. All right, our next project, we're going to replace some batteries on Bob's little electric switcher. And this is nicknamed the Bulletproof Switcher by Precision Railroad Products here in Arizona, a local-based company. All right, this is Dan from Precision Railroad Products, and he makes, among other things, the Bulletproof Switcher. And Dan, give us a little spiel about your company and what your goal is for machines like this.
Well, we started making trains in about 2001, so we've been doing it for quite a while. And the name Bulletproof Switcher came from how robust it is, and that became a kind of a moniker for a lot of our products: bulletproof track, bulletproof switches, and then the bulletproof locomotives and drive systems. We try to build better mousetraps, so everything we do is industrial grade. I was a subcontractor for the railway factory, so I used to install 2-foot gauge railways. and I learned how they build heavy park trains, and I brought all that down into the 7.5 gauge to try to build a better mousetrap and something a little more reliable. So everything I do, again, it's industrial grade, it's very robust, and the products kind of speak for themselves.
Now, you do this switcher in a couple different scales, right?
Correct. The bulletproof switchers in 1.6 scale and 2.5 scale.
Okay, and I will throw up a picture not only of Bob's switcher here, but there's another little green one out here that is yours, but it's like 1.5 inch.
Yeah, 1.6.
Yeah,
It'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
1.6.
Yeah, it's
it a
noticeably
Burlington?
smaller than this scale.
Yeah, if it's a Burlington Northern, I know exactly who the customer is. He's from Scottsdale
Yeah.
Light Steamers.
Now, a lot of people who are into the railroad YouTube scene, they know Millbrook Railroad.
Correct.
And Aaron out there, and you've got some connections out there to the East Coast.
Via Bill Banta. So Bill Banta from Banta Model Works bought a complete drive system to put in his box cab. So for people who watch Millbrook, and they'll see him working at Bill's Railroad, and they'll see the yellow box cab he has. He's running my drive system, which is quite a compliment because he's an accomplished builder himself.
What's the rough wattage? Do you rate your motors by wattage, or how do you?
We do. The basic system is a 350 watt motor gear unit per axle. So obviously this is a 2-axle locomotive. We have two 350 watt motor gears. They have 10-to-1 reduction. They produce about 9 foot-pounds of torque. So the wattage kind of roughly will equate over to horsepower. 742 to 748 equals 1 base horsepower. But that's pretty generic because that's tied directly to RPM. So I'm more concerned with torque. All of my motors are derived by torque. So I actually have a direct relationship with Unite Manufacturing. I met the CEO. So the motors that I get, there's 3 different tiers. They're all A tier. I put a 2-year warranty on them. All of my products have a minimum of a 2-year warranty. The Super Duty, which we use in a lot of the bigger park trains, has a 5-year warranty.
Now, how important is the mass of these locomotives? I mean, the steel that you use is really thick.
Yeah, so the 2.5 inch scale here weighs a little over 500 pounds, which is quite a bit for an 040 switcher. So the mass is going to give you tractive effort. And of course, that's more important to me, not just getting the train going, but safely stopping it. So my motor control units also have some pretty unique stuff. We've got anti-lock brakes, and we got traction control, delayed acceleration. None of my train systems will jackrabbit start. So you can throw your throttle to 100%, and it takes 8 to 10 seconds to get up to full throttle. However, the regenerative braking is very quick and responsive, so they slow down immediately.
Wow, I'm going to put a link down below so you can check out Dan's website. Awesome. Dan, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
So Dan, I wonder how many people running a train fab business will come out and change batteries for one of their clients.
I don't know. Probably not too many, but it's
No, it's pretty top drawer
it is
service.
what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoy my customers. I do a lot of free stuff out of Train Mountain whenever I'm out there. To me, it's not about the money, especially in the ride-on hobby stuff. As far as trains, I make my money when I do park trains. Oh, yeah. It's like a real deal. Put it forward, it should be able to rev up a little when it rolls. Oh, I turn the drive system on.
All put back together.
You don't want it sealed usually.
Heading for the barn.
There's certain speakers you gotta look at the
And we shouldn't do all work and no play, so let's get a little train action in. All right, well, we've had a productive and fun day out here at the railroad park. This is Stan saying thanks so much for watching us here on the Crow's Nest Railroad. We'll see you right here next time.